What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. My name is Nicole and I am a person in recovery. My sobriety date is July 13th of 2015. How was I say? What was my date? And I am here with you guys tonight to talk about relapse prevention. So come on in, take a seat, like the video, invite your friends, share the video, and all that good stuff. Share the video, like the video, invite your friends. Share the video, like the video, invite your friends. Got it? Good. Share the video, like the video, invite your friends. Share the video, like the video, invite your friends. Y'all got it? I think I did really good. Okay. Hey y'all, share the video, like the video, invite your friends. Share the video, like the video, invite your friends. Okay? Share the video, like the video, invite your friends. All right? Okay, let's do this. Okay, guys, so let me see. Oh, heck. What's this thing? I didn't see this. Hold on, guys. Got it. Oh. Enter. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Come on in. Oh, you're welcome, Blunts. Hey, Alicia. Hey, guys. Hey, Celestial Moon. What's your real name? So I can just, I don't know it and I want to know it. Okay, so how's everybody doing? It's Ashley. Okay, Ashley. I want to remember so that way, so am Weasler. What's it? We're going to talk about relapse prevention, y'all. So come on in. Come on in. Hey, girl. What's up? 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 We're talking about relapse prevention tonight, y'all. Relapse prevention. So share the video, like the video, and invite your friends. Okay? Okay. So I need to get rid of all these because they're super old and we're not doing them anymore. As soon as y'all come in and do all that, share the video, like the video, and invite your friends, then we are going to get started. So how did you guys like my story time? Did you guys go over to my YouTube channel and check it out? So today, you guys, I did a story time. It was kind of crazy. but we talked all about my hallucinations that I have when I'm on methamphetamine. I think everybody enjoyed it. Seemed like it. Yeah, you went over to my YouTube channel, Ashley. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. And I have so many other videos on my YouTube channel, you guys. If you like story times, you can go to my YouTube channel and then go to, what is it called? Playlists. Okay, and you can look up all my story times. You can look up all the interviews I've done. For those of you guys that don't know, I have over 100 interviews on my YouTube channel of me interviewing other addicts, you know. So you can watch hundreds of videos there all about recovery of other people telling their stories, okay? So if you like that, you know, that could be something that maybe you're bored at home and you don't have anything to do. You could watch that, okay? Date. Also, I'm going to be working on a bunch more content for you guys for my YouTube channel. So I'm really trying to get everybody to head over there and check it out, because I'm really working hard on trying to build it. You know what I mean? So we had a story time today, and it was all about my worst hallucination that I ever had, which I thought was a really good question. What about you guys? Okay. Share the video, like the video, invite your friends. Share the video, like the video, invite your friends. Got it? Good. We're almost ready to start. Let me get my computer pulled up with my relapse prevention stuff on it. So that way we can get to talking, baby. We're talking relapse prevention. Oh. Relapse prevention. Y'all ready for relapse prevention? Let me see. How do I do that? Oh, here we go. Allow. Watch this. Relapse prevention. All right. Here we go. Glad to be here. Come on in, y'all. We're talking about relapse prevention tonight. So bring your booty, honey. Bring your boo, honey. Because we can talk about some relapse prevention. How many of you guys have struggled with relapses? How many of you guys have relapsed? If you have, wait a second, how about this? If you have never relapsed, put a 1 in the chat. If you have never had a relapse, put a 1 in the chat. Oh, good, Missy. Missy's never relapsed. That's amazing, girl. Oh, shout out to Missy. Missy just hit 9 months sober today, you guys. Missy is a direct result of Real Talk Recovery. Here, the fellowship, the support. She came to Real Talk Recovery struggling, broken, and hurting in the inside. And she came here and hung out with us and started going to our meetings, started working with us, all of us, started working with me, and now she has 9 months sober. Now, I didn't get her sober, of course, but she will tell you herself that, you know, being here has helped her to obtain and maintain her sobriety. So, for those of you guys that think that I'm full of shit and that, you know, what we do here doesn't make a difference, she is literally living proof of it. She's living proof. of sobriety and the help that Real Talk Recovery provides for free here on live streams every night at 7:30. Every single night at 7:30, I go live and we do this, and I try to help others and encourage them, to change their lives. So share the video, like the video, invite your friends. I'm inviting people right now to you guys, so bear with me, okay? Yeah, and then Ashley Hendricks just hit 2 years today. So we have got 2 people who are celebrating huge milestones, in their recovery. Oh, thank you. Relapse is knocking at my door, having a marriage problems, but I'll be okay. Well, no, you're not. You're not okay. And I'm so glad that you said something about it, because that's what you got to do. You got to start snitching on your addiction. So what's going on with your marriage? Why are you having marriage problems, hun? You can come up here and share if you'd like to. I just sent you an invite. Okay, so the first thing that we got to talk about, you guys, for relapse prevention, okay, is if you are someone who's struggling with relapse or thinking about relapse or just not feeling like your right self, guess what? That's okay. We all go through those feelings, right? It's totally normal. All right. What you need to do if you're struggling is reach out for help. Talk about what you're going through. Do not be silent. Okay. A closed mouth don't get fed. What you have to do is look for support. Hey, Sal, look for support. Ask for support. Like I said, start snitching on your addiction. Okay, that is literally the only way I can put it that makes sense to me, is snitching on my addiction. Tell anybody that'll listen. Okay, I'm struggling. I need support. I'm struggling. I need support. Okay. So, relationships in recovery are hard, especially when we first get sober. Marriage, boyfriend and girlfriend, mom, dad, whatever kind of relationship it is. It's hard because we're learning how to navigate life without substances. We're learning how to live our lives and work, play, talk, everything without drugs, right? And so it can be super daunting, overwhelming, and scary all at the same time. It can be hard. And so what you need to understand, you guys, is that you're not alone, and that I promise you, every other person who has gotten sober has felt just like you're feeling. Okay? I promise, you're not alone. You're not unique in any way. All of us have felt that feeling. And some of us have that feeling still, because we have a lot riding on our sobriety, right? Our lives, our everything. If we don't stay sober, then what happens? We lose everything, At least that's how it is for me. If I lose my sobriety, then I'll lose my job, I'll lose my son, I'll lose my husband, then I'll lose my home, then I'll lose my car, everything. Hey, baby shark. I'm so sorry about your daughter. I really, really am. So the first step when preventing relapse is to reach out for help, okay? It's not uncommon to struggle at all. Okay. So why do you guys think relapse happens? Why do you think relapse happens? This is what I'm going to say. The reason why I think relapse happens to me is because what happens is I usually stop doing something that I was supposed to be doing that helped me stay sober. And so I start lacking. I start slacking, right? I start slacking, and then little things can start eating away. Like I can have a bad day at work, or complacency, right? No coping skills, good. Marriage issues, right? Thinking you can just do it once, anxiety, stress, no support system. Yeah, those are all things that can cause us to relapse, right? Having the wrong social circle. Exactly. Okay, so if we know that having the wrong people that we hang out with, or that we're stressed out, or that we can't go to the club, all these things, right? If we know those things cause relapse, right? Then what do we need to do? We need to make a list of things that we need to stay away from. So the first thing we're going to do for our relapse prevention kit, this is going to be our relapse prevention kit. Okay, so everybody get out a pen and a piece of paper, and I want you to write down relapse prevention kit. And the first row that we're going to write down is we're going to write not a to-do list, but a to-don't list. Don't do, right? Don't do. This is our to-don't list, okay? So what are some things that we know that are triggering, that cause relapse, that we don't need to do? So I heard you say hanging out with the wrong social circle. So don't hang out with my old friends, right? Hang out with old using friends, right? What's another thing that we shouldn't do if we're trying to stay sober? Okay, let's think. Another thing that we shouldn't do when we're trying to stay sober is take on too much responsibility, overload ourselves, right? Overload responsibility. Okay. Isolate. That's a good one. Good job. Isolate. Don't isolate. Very good. Don't go places that trigger you. Right. Stay away from triggers. So since you said don't go places that trigger you, okay? After we write down our to-don't list, we're going to write down what our triggers are, and they're going to be different for everybody, okay? Don't have idle hands. So don't have, I'm going to put don't have idle hands, just like you said, idle hands, okay? All right, so we have our to-don't list, and of course you guys can write anything on there that you want to write on there, right? So now stay busy. Good job. So now that we write down that, then for our next little box, I want you guys to write down my triggers, okay? My triggers. So how many of you guys know what triggers you? How many of y'all know what triggers you? First of all, a trigger can be a thought. It can be something you see. It can be a smell. Okay, there's different kinds of triggers. There's emotional triggers, right? There are physical triggers that you see out, see. There are my weight. Yeah, totally. I totally understand that. So for me, my triggers that I experience, okay, I experience my weight. Okay. Let's think. What else? Methamphetamine, or let me think. Being stressed out, it makes me tired. Stressed, tired. Family that doesn't listen. Arguments, that's a good one. Arguments. Walmart, that's a good one. Family that doesn't listen. Having to think of things that make you sad or give you anxiety. So now we know what our triggers are and what we don't need to do, okay? So now that we know what our triggers are and what we don't need to do, now we are working with something, right? Now we can prevent those things from us doing those things, okay? So addiction is a brain disease, you guys, and what we're doing is we're retraining our brain. Okay, so our brain, was in a habit of getting up, getting drugs, and putting them into our bodies, right? So now what we have to do is we have to make new habits, all right? So what is going to be things that you're going to do that are going to be your new habits? What is going to be your new, like, program? How many of you guys have, like, a program of things that you do every single day? And I want to know, how many, if you are planning your days, put a 1 in the chat. I got to get something to drink. Oh, good. Good job, y'all. Planning your days. How many of you guys are planning your days? You guys are probably thinking, what's the big deal? Who cares if we plan our days? It's really, really, really important, you guys. And I'm going to explain why. Okay? I'm going to explain why. All right? So, when you first get sober, like one of our good friends, Mr. Billy, said a few minutes ago, he said something about idle hands, right? Idle hands. When we first get sober, you guys, we are kind of just like, we're just kind of like flailing in the wind, right? And we can go this way or we can go that way, okay? And we're easily influenced. We're easily persuaded. And so not having a plan for the day is what can kind of cause us harm. So what we're going to do is I want each and every one of you guys to write down on your little list, okay, my day, okay? And I want you guys, if you haven't already, I want you guys to go out, get yourself a calendar or a planner or just like a little journal like this. And I want you to start writing down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, okay? And write down the days and the things that you're going to do on those days, okay? Why am I telling you to do this, okay? Because when I plan my days and I stick to my plan, then I know what I'm going to be doing, right? Somebody can't call me and say, hey girl, it's so-and-so. Do you want to go hang out tonight at this concert? Oh, sorry, I have plans. I'm taking my son to play basketball or whatever, right? And so that way I'm not just kind of like jumping and going from here to there, right? We got to stick to the plan. Now, of course, you can change your mind and go to that concert. What would be something that would be a good idea to do if somebody invited you to do something that was breaking your plan? What would be a good idea to talk to that person about? What I would do is I would say, so-and-so, are you sober? And if they said, no, I still drink, you know, I'd say, well, you know, is it okay if I bring my sponsor with me? Or, I'm sorry, I don't drink anymore, and I really don't think it's a good idea for me to come to the concert. You know what I mean? Nothing against you. I just don't want to cause myself any harm while I'm going. You know what I mean? Now, if it's one of your old using friends, you would just straight up block them, right? I mean, you don't need that shit in your life. But if it's just like a friend saying that you know, that you didn't even know used, just let them know, you know, like, hey, this is why I'm getting sober. I'm changing my life, yada, yada, yada. So my day, we're always going to plan our days. Plan the day. Okay, so when you first start your day out, you guys, what's the first thing you do when you start your day? And when you open your eyes, when you wake up, what is the first thing that you guys do when you wake up? How are you starting your day? What are you starting your day with? So, let me explain to you what I mean. When I open my eyes, when I start my day, the first thing I say is, thank you. Thank you. Okay, before I go get my coffee, before I take a dump, okay, before I wipe the crust out of my eyes, I make it a point. I make it a point every morning to wake up and say thank you. Thank you to my higher power for helping me stay sober that day before. Thank you, right? I made it to another day. I'm alive. I'm healthy. All right. Second, what we're going to do is we are going to pray. Okay? We're going to pray to whatever your higher power is, and get a pen and a piece of paper, because this is what you're going to pray. This is what you're going to pray. You're going to write down your prayer on your relapse prevention list, and you're going to write down, take my will and my life. Take my will and my life. Guide me in my recovery and show me how to live clean and serene. Okay? Take my will and my life, guide me in my recovery, and show me how to live clean and serene. So, you thanked your higher power, you have said your prayer, and the next thing you're going to do, now you can get up, you can start moving around, you can go out, look out the window, see if it's sun shining outside, see if it's raining outside. And while you're doing that and you're going down to get your, coffee or whatever, I want you to start on your next thing that you need to do in the morning, which is your gratitude list, okay? So, when you wake up in the morning, you guys, I want you to mentally, or you can write it down in a journal, think about 5 things that you're grateful for to start your day off, all right? If you guys want to, you can share the video, like the video, and invite your friends. I'm going to share the video too, okay? When you wake up in the morning and you wake up with an attitude of gratitude, you guys, it's going to help your whole day, okay? It's going to help your whole day to be like so much better than it would if you didn't wake up with ingratitude, all right? Having an attitude of gratitude is going to change your life, all right? So we said thank you, we prayed, and now we're doing our attitude of gratitude, and we're ready, man. We're ready to start the day. You can add affirmations in there, okay? You can do affirmations. You can do a workout in the morning. You can, call your sponsor, call your friends that are in recovery, whatever you need to add in there. But you need to make sure you thank him, pray, and have some gratitude, okay? All right, so now that we know, so far this is what we got on our relapse prevention list. We have things that we don't need to do. We have our triggers. We have that we need to plan our day, okay? And then we have what we do in the morning, which is our morning routine is what I would write. Our morning routine. And that doesn't change no matter what, okay? Every morning it's the same, right? What if I wake up and I don't feel like doing this? Perfect question. If you wake up and you don't feel like doing this, you do it anyway. Because guess what? When you were in your active addiction, you would climb a mountain, jump over you would climb a mountain, swim across the sea, okay? Dig a hole, go underground to get to the dope man's house. So now that you're sober, hey, Cece, you have to make sacrifices and you have to push, all right? So if you don't want to do this, you're going to do it anyway, because doing it anyway is going to help you, all right? I'm telling you. There's a lot of things that you're not going to want to do in recovery, but you don't get anywhere by not doing what you need to do, right? You don't get anywhere not doing it. And this is not anything that is hard to do. This takes literally 3 minutes out of your morning, and this is literally going to separate the people who are serious about changing their lives and the people who don't want to change, okay? Because these are just simple things that you can do that will improve your quality of life. I promise, okay? I would never, ever ask you guys to do anything that I don't do myself. I promise you guys, this is going to help you, because you're going to be changing the way you think. That's what's going to help the most. Changing your perception, getting into that gratitude, right? Getting ready to take on a new day, okay? So, once we do our morning routine, then we have to plan our day, right? Our day should have been planned the day before. So what you should do is each day, that night before you go to bed, plan what you're going to do the next day. So that way you're not, like I said, just flailing in the wind. So that way you have a mission, all right? If you are like, well, Nicole, I don't really have anything to do. Okay, and you're just at home. Then what you can do, you guys, is make sure that you fill your day, with things that are going to be productive for your sobriety. If you're just hanging out at home with your family, that's okay. You can get online. You can look up some recovery meetings on YouTube and watch some recovery meetings, right? Make sure that you are eating breakfast in the morning. That way you get your fuel and you're not like stressed out or like on edge. If we only put a quarter of energy into recovery that we used to chase our drug of choice, we will change our lives. Exactly. And that's what I'm trying to help you guys to see. Because by doing these things, this is changing your brain. Okay? Every time that you do this routine, you are breaking the habit of what you used to do. Okay? What you used to do was jump up out of bed, call the dope man right away. Hey, dope man, I'm ready to get high. It's 6 a.m. You awake yet? Right? And so every time, each day that you do this, each day that you wake up, you thank your higher power. You pray. Okay? You have gratitude. All right? You follow your schedule. You are changing the neural pathways in your brain and healing your brain. All right? 14 days of doing this every day and you've built a new habit that is fresh and healthy and going to change your life. Okay? So we all know that things aren't going to go perfectly like this, right? So let's throw in a little spicy something that can happen to throw you off, okay? Let's say you got your coffee, you had your breakfast, and your mom and dad are at home, and your dad comes out of the back room and he sees you at the house and he just starts saying, Cece, when are you gonna get a fucking job? I mean, you've been sober for 60 days and you still ain't working. You ain't paid one single bill. I need some help. When are you going to start working? Right? So now you're sitting there and you just got hit with it. Your parents are annoyed that you're living at the house. You're not paying bills and they're getting fucking antsy about it. How are you going to handle this situation, right? What would we normally do if our parents came up to us and started griping at us about not working? Well, we would probably get mad, yell back at them, and then run out and go get high, right? Well, we can't do that today, right? Today we have to actually deal with the situation at hand. So mom and dad come out and they get upset and they said, hey, listen, you're not working. Then you could sit down and say, hey, mom, dad, come sit down. I need to talk to you. I want to share with you guys what I'm doing every day for my recovery, right? And show them your relapse prevention plan, right? And what you're doing to stay sober. And then say, listen, I do have 60 days sober. I would like to go and find a job and get work. And say, I am new in my recovery. Is it okay, can I get a part-time job? Is that going to be something that, you guys will work with me on? And, they're probably going to say, yes, we just want to see that you're putting in effort, right? We just want to see that you're actually, trying to put in effort, grateful that we are putting a roof over your head. And that's all we ask is that you chip in, right? That's probably most likely all they're going to be griping about. So then you can go get yourself a little job somewhere that's conducive for your sobriety. So if I were you and you were in early recovery, I would try to steer clear of any bars, clubs, or anything like that. If you work in the restaurant business, just know that that is a business where a lot of people use, okay? A lot of people use drugs that work at restaurants. It doesn't mean that you can't work there and be successful in your recovery though, okay? I will tell you this. I stayed away from restaurants where I was bartending or serving tables. And when I got my first job in recovery, I got a job at a sandwich shop called Nukes. Okay? It was a little sandwich shop. It was ran by a really cool dude. He was super nice, and I did really well there, and I had no problems with people like offering me drugs or anything like that. Okay? So it was perfect. Now the jobs that are like where they have a bar and grill and you wait tables and you have that kind of job is where a lot of people get high at. But like I said, if you absolutely have no other job, you can get a job, you know, wherever you need to. Some good jobs for people that are sober would be a cleaning job, like cleaning offices. I used to do that when I first got sober. Grocery store, cashier at any kind of place in the mall, like a Bath and Body Works, a candle shop, a clothes shop, H&M, all that kind of stuff, right? You could go work for an insurance person, Walgreens, CVS, any of those places, okay? And that way you're showing mom and dad that you're putting in effort and that you're working and that you're willing to pay your way, okay? So that whole situation with mom and dad is okay. You handled it. Instead of blowing up and getting your feathers all ruffled, you communicated with your mom and dad and you let them know that you are grateful to have a roof over your head and that you are willing to put in work, right? Oh, really? Tiffany did? Oh, I'm so glad. I'm glad you're here too. Hey, Havana, what's up? Yes, healthy communication. Exactly. Okay. So, anyways, now that we threw in a little curveball. Okay, so okay. All right. So how many of you guys, do y'all know what a relapse is? Do you know what a relapse is? A relapse is when you return to drinking or using drugs after you had a substantial time, you know, of sobriety. Hey, Southern Sunshine, after you've been sober for, 60, 90 days and you relapse, and you stay out, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, 2 weeks, however long, that's a relapse, okay? What we like to call it where I work is an episode of use, okay? Why we call it an episode of use is because a lot of times when people are trying to stay sober and change their lives, especially when they're newly sober, they put a lot of focus on the amount of days that they have been sober instead of the quality of their sobriety time. And counting those days for some people can be counterproductive and kind of cause them issues, right? So the whole goal in recovery is to, if you have an episode of use on Monday, the whole goal is to stretch out the time between episodes of use. We want you to get to a point where you're not having any episodes of use. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so it's not a failure is what I'm trying to explain. If you have an episode of use, you're not losing anything, okay? You're not failing. You're not a failure. If you have an episode of use, you are just learning and having more experience of the things that you don't need to do. All right? Now, in today's day and age, you guys, it's really dangerous though. If you have an episode of use and you're a fentanyl addict, you can die. And so I don't want you guys to have episodes of use. Of course I don't want you to. But I do understand that it happens, Okay. So. All right, let's talk about the different stages of relapse. Okay? The different stages of relapse, okay? All right. So, write this down because this is something I think is so awesome. Okay, stages of relapse. Okay? All right, so the first stage of relapse is an emotional relapse. Emotional relapse. Okay? All right, during this stage, the individual is not necessarily thinking about having a drink or using drugs, but they're neglecting self-care. They might start to bottle up emotions, isolate themselves from others, eat poorly, and not sleep well. Emotional relapse, okay? So you don't have to necessarily be thinking about using, but it's when you start becoming complacent, drop doing the things that you were doing, stop taking good care of yourself, okay? And start isolating and becoming lax in your program, okay? The next stage is a mental relapse. What do you guys think a mental relapse is? A mental relapse is, this stage becomes an internal tug of war, okay? It includes cravings for drugs and alcohol, nostalgic feelings for the people, places, and things associated with alcohol and drug use, and lying to themselves about the consequences that come with it. Okay, so this would be like, damn, I remember back in the day when me and Billy used to get high. We would have so much fun. I miss those days. Yeah. I mean, what the hell? I could just shoot some dope one last time, or just, have a couple of drinks. It can't hurt anything, right? I really wish I could go to that concert. Last time I went to a concert, I got fucked up on cocaine. I was so high. Those were the days, right? These are mental relapses. Can you guys give me any examples of how you have mentally relapsed in the past? I remember the last time I relapsed before I got sober this time. I was working for Kroger and I was living in a sober living apartment. And I was in my apartment and I knew my friend Jennifer that moved in next door had relapsed on Roxy's. And I was basically trying to find an excuse to go over to her house and hang out, so that way I could do some Roxy's, because I knew she had them over there. You know what I'm saying? Good job, Jalen. And then the third stage is physical relapse, okay? Physical relapse, all right? And the reason why, you guys, we're talking about this and I'm sharing these things is because if you guys, blaming it on your bipolar, if you guys can identify what is happening while it's happening, then you can what? Prevent relapse. That's why we're doing this. So physical relapse. At this point, drinking and or drug use begins and quickly escalates to an uncontrollable level. Okay? So it goes like this. Emotional relapse. We start to let ourselves go. We're not taking care of ourselves. We're isolating away from our recovery support group. We quit going to our meetings. We're not calling our sponsor. Okay? And then the mental relapse is we're thinking about the old days. We're kind of reminiscing about the way drugs and alcohol made us feel. We're going back and forth in our mind, just thinking, oh, we can have one last time, right? It's a tug of war. Remember that. A mental relapse is a tug of war in your mind. I want you to close your eyes and imagine the sober you and the drug addict you in a tug of war. And the drug addict you is pulling you and saying, come on now. We want to get high. Think about how skinny we were when we were getting high, Nicole. Come on, girl. A little bit of meth. It'll make you feel so good. You can get this damn house clean, and you'll get your jawline back. Okay? Because, I ain't got no jawline because of this double chin. And just going back and forth. And then the good Nicole is saying, Nicole, if you use, you'll lose everything. Your job, you're so proud of yourself. You're working for Dr. B, your son, everything. And then the other Nicole is saying, but Nicole, just think about the energy and the weight loss and how much better you'll feel because you'll be skinny. Okay? And that's that tug of war that I'm talking about. All right? And then it ends in the physical relapse, okay? And us finally going out and jumping off the deep end, okay? Okay. All right. This is awesome, you guys. This is awesome. I'm really enjoying this. Okay, so far on our relapse prevention kit sheet, we have don't do list, our triggers, a schedule of our day, okay, our morning routine, and the 3 stages of relapse, okay? Okay, so how many of you guys know when you're going to relapse? How many of you guys are in tune and self-aware to know that you are struggling and that you might relapse? Are you guys like to that point where you can say, I'm having a bad day, I'm feeling like shit, and you can say, I need to make a change, I need to turn this around? Okay, good. Okay, so I think we all do. It takes time to get to that point, you guys, where you can actually like identify what's going on and make a change. Hey, Pinky, what's up, girl? Okay, so how do you get to that point where you can identify that there's something going on within you, and then turn it around and do an about face? Okay. So what I think helps you guys is, doing your morning routine, saying your prayers, thanking your higher power, and doing your gratitude list, connecting with somebody that's sober, that that you look up to, that you talk to every day, right? When you start noticing yourself to pull away, noticing yourself making like outlandish choices, things that just don't go in line with your sobriety, right? These are like warning signs. Other warning signs are just being super tired, sleeping all the time, or being overly stressed out, right? How many of you guys, this is one thing I used to make a mistake, and I know you guys have done the same thing, okay? How many of you guys, when you got sober, you thought it was so important for you to get sober and start making money? So you got a job and you started working and you got promoted really quickly, and now you're working like 45, 50 hours a week, and you're doing so well, and you're so proud of yourself, and your parents are so proud of you because you're making money and you're being successful, right? How many of you guys do that when you get sober? Every time I get sober, I throw myself into my job, okay? And I work, because in my mind, success is, my money, right? My work. Well, I had to learn real quick this last time I got sober that success is not from my job, okay? Success is from my sobriety, my mental health, right? That's what I did. Almost gonna be team leader. Money was definitely a trigger, like 2%. My bank account thanks me for my sobriety. Yep, and can actually save and buy stuff my boys and I want. That's awesome. I got sober and got my dream job in healthcare. Hey, Nat, that's awesome. So this is what I'm trying to point out to you guys, though. That's all great, right? I'm proud of you guys for working, okay? But when what you have to do is you have to make sure that you find balance, okay? So balance is super important, or else you'll end up like me. And you will have a job and you will be doing so well. You will be getting promoted and you'll be rocking it out, and you'll work so much that you stress yourself out and you overwork yourself, and that can take you back out. That can take you back out. I'm in the process of becoming a house manager for sober living. That's great, Carrie Ann. That's a perfect job for somebody in recovery. Perfect. Okay, so let's talk about some relapse prevention tips. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So first, like I said, we got to find balance. Balance with our social life. Balance with work. Okay. Balance with our recovery. Balance with our family. Now, in your life, I want you guys to tell me, in your life, in what order do these things go? What order does your family, your recovery, your relationship, your schooling, what order? What comes first? You guys know what comes first? Fighting Irish. That's right. Recovery. Recovery has to come first. Because without recovery, you can't pray to God, right? Without recovery, you will be out there relapsing and dead. So recovery, if you have your higher power, right? Recovery, higher power, family, son, or whatever, how you want, all that. But I would say recovery and your higher power are the first two things, right? Because we have to be alive so that way we can praise our higher power and thank him for keeping us on the journey, right? Without recovery, everything else falls, okay? And so that's why it's so important for us, you guys, to keep our sobriety at the forefront, okay? Keep that a priority in our lives. It's easy to get distracted, all right? It's very, very easy to get distracted when you get sober, and to kind of adjust things and move recovery over to the side and let a new boyfriend, a new job, a best friend, a family member kind of inch their way into the front, okay? How many of you guys have found it hard to put your recovery first because of a significant other that you're dating, or that you're seeing? How many of you guys have significant others who are not addicts, so they don't understand what it's like and why you have to make sure that your recovery was first? Share the video, Ashley. Share the video, like the video, invite your friends. Share the video, like the video, invite your friends. That's what I've been telling everybody. So that way we can get everybody in here. Because for those of you guys that don't know, my main account got banned. And so we're here on the, this is my backup. So, okay, yeah, like I was saying. So about the significant other. It can be difficult because some people almost feel like they're at competition with our recovery. And what I do with my husband, because look at me, where am I at every night at 7:30? With y'all. Okay? I'm always here with you guys in the evening time because this is important to me. This helps me stay sober. Helping others helps me. Okay? And so what you need to do is sit down with your significant other and let them know, hey, in order for me to stay healthy, I have to do these things. And this is what helps me stay alive. This is how I'm able to be successful in life, is by making sure that I put my recovery first, right? Normally when you can sit down and talk to somebody and explain that to them, then they can understand, oh, okay, that's why you go to those meetings every night at 6:30. You know what I mean? I see, I understand. And then I'll ask them, say, I would love for you to be a part of my recovery. If you would like to come to a meeting with me sometime, you absolutely can, right? Because sometimes that helps people to understand even more. They can come and see and be at an open meeting with you guys and meet other people that are in recovery, and that will help them to understand more. You know what I mean? So, putting our recovery first is the A1, okay? Super duper important, you guys. I can't stress it enough to you. So many times I have, like I said, let my job become my priority, and I have relapsed so many times because of it. So I just want you guys to know how important it is for you to keep your sobriety, first. If you want to come up and share, send me a request and you can come up and share, okay? So let's think of some tips, you guys. What are some tips that we can use to prevent relapse, okay? Tips for relapse prevention. So what I would say first, a very important thing that we need to do, okay? You know what? Even before we do our tips, how many of you guys have had a mental health evaluation? How many of you guys have had a mental health evaluation? Okay, this is very important. So I want you to put it like in a little box with a star. Okay. All right. Mental health eval. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, it might not seem like a big deal, right? But I'm telling you 100%, it was the best thing I ever did because it helped me to understand what was going on in my mind. And it also helped me because I needed medication. I needed to be on Lexapro and I needed to be on Wellbutrin, and that has helped me. So, go and get yourself a mental health evaluation, get yourself a physical, okay? Get yourself checked out, make sure that you're healthy, all right? Because that is going to help you stay sober too. How do you get one? Okay, so if you have a family care, a primary care physician, call your primary care physician and ask him if he will refer you to a psychiatrist, or I guess psychiatrist or psychologist, to get a mental health evaluation, and just explain to him, it's been a couple of years, and they can give you like a real psychological evaluation. Now, of course, you could just go to your PCP and talk to them about what you're experiencing, if you're having depression, whatever you're going through. But to get a real psychological evaluation, they need to refer you out. And like I said, it was the best thing I ever did, you guys. Best thing I ever did. Also, how many of you guys have had blood tests, checked for hepatitis C, checked for HIV, checked for, any kind of situation? That's also super duper important, you guys, because when I got sober, I found out I had hepatitis C. Okay, I found out I had hepatitis C, and it was like it was a blow to the gut. I was real scared because I thought I was going to die from it, but I'm not going to die. And now I'm taking the treatments, and so that is super important. Okay, now we're going to go to tips for relapse prevention. Okay, some tips. So, well, what is a good tip? I would say my first tip that I'm going to add to the list is make sure that I am taking time for me and making sure I'm doing my self-care. So, self-care. Okay, what's another tip that can help you not to relapse, you guys? And I got a list of some right here that I can read to you guys to help y'all out. Okay, get some quality sleep. Insomnia, sleep disturbances, and fatigue are commonly associated with both substance abuse and withdrawal. Not getting enough shut-eye can be a potential trigger for relapse too. So, make sure we're getting sleep. What did Ashley say? Reach out to at least 5 people. That's a great tip. So, what I say is get yourself a notepad like this and go to 10 people that are sober and in recovery that have more sobriety time than you and ask them for their phone numbers. So, get yourself a sober phone list. Okay? A sober phone list of 10 people that you can call when you're struggling or if you just want to talk about anything. Okay? Okay. Next. It says exercise regularly. Those studies that have elevated the impact of physical activity on the prevention and reduction of drinking and drug use behavior have netted somewhat mixed results. Few would argue against exercise being a healthy outlet for stress reduction and overall wellness. So, I think that that's a great tip too, exercise. Now, some people, you guys, can take it to the next extreme and become addicted to exercise too. So, that's what we were talking about earlier, just about balance. Balance, okay? Okay, so Consider other complementary methods for managing stress naturally, like yoga and meditation. Pole fitness to say, that's great, Angelica. That is a great one. So meditation, yoga, pole fitness, pole dancing, that's awesome. I bet you that's amazing. I bet you it's fun too. So what's another tip that can help you guys prevent relapse? Okay, how about joining some self-help groups and attending meetings? So self-help groups. Like Real Talk Recovery, this meeting right here, this is a self-help group, right? So joining a self-help group, attending meetings, that can also help you to prevent relapse, okay? I think somebody said keeping the negative trolls away from you. So surround yourself with positive and supportive people. Positive support. Okay. What's another tip, you guys? Be completely honest with those in your recovery circle, including family members, doctors, counselors, self-help groups, participants, and sponsors. So, honesty. Minimizing exposure to news and overloading information. Heck yeah, news can be super depressing. So, minimize news and overloading information. Try oils and sage. It helps with meditating. So when meditating, try some essential oils. Okay, for me, getting my chronic pain under control helps me keep me from relapsing. Southern Sunshine, we need to let's step away from the tips and let's talk specifically about people that are in recovery that struggle with chronic pain. If you're somebody who's in recovery that struggles with chronic pain, let me know, okay? So, if you're somebody that struggles with chronic pain, every person deserves to have adequate pain management, right? Controlling their pain. Just because you're a drug addict doesn't mean that you've lost the luxury or whatever of getting pain treatment, okay? It's just, you need to have that done, because if you don't have your pain treated, then what's going to happen? Your back's going to be hurting, you're going to be irritable, you're going to be restless, you're going to be uncomfortable, and then you're going to go out and try to self-medicate. This is why I was talking about getting a mental health evaluation, because if we don't have our mental health in line, we'll do the same thing. We'll be irritable, restless, and discontent, and we'll go seeking out something to medicate our mental health. So it's the same thing with people who struggle with chronic pain, okay? Be honest with your doctor, okay? Let them know if you're struggling with chronic pain, so that way they can find something that can properly treat it, so that way you don't go out looking for other answers, all right? Okay. If you guys want to come up and share, you can send a request and you can come up and share. Anybody's allowed to come up and share, okay? Okay. So, I liked that. So, okay. For me, you guys, for me, a lot of the things that help me stay sober and help me prevent relapse are the connections and the fellowship that I have with other addicts and alcoholics. So like doing these meetings, this is something that feeds my soul and it helps me stay sober. Do you understand what I'm saying? Also, I tell everything. I speak when I'm struggling. I do not hold it in. I'm not one of those people who, puts on a brave face and says, oh, I'm fine. When I'm struggling, I talk about it, because what I have found that if I push it down and I try to hide it, then that it always ends up biting me in the butt, and I end up picking up. And so whenever I'm struggling, I don't hold it back. I reach out for help and I let somebody know. Now, and here's the thing, you guys, there's nothing to be ashamed of, all right? There's nothing to be ashamed of, all right? If you are someone who's struggling, Robbie, Robbie, if you have nobody to talk to, then that is literally your cue to start seeking out people in recovery that you can connect with and you can put on your sober support phone list, okay? How many of you guys have sober support phone lists? Okay, so at the bottom of your relapse prevention list, you're going to make yourself a sober support phone list, okay? And that is going to be all of y'all's homework for tonight. I want every single person in here to reach out, okay, to at least 10 people that are in recovery and ask them if you can have their phone number, so that way you can have a sober support phone list, okay? I'm serious, you guys. Is it going to be embarrassing? No. Is it uncomfortable to ask people? I mean, it can be. It was for me when I first got sober. I was at a meeting and my sponsor told me I had to get 10 phone numbers, okay? And so I had to walk up to ladies that, you know, I had just met and ask them for their numbers. But it's going to be easier for you guys because you know what? You're here online with me. You know, you can message somebody and say, hey, my name is, who's this girl? I guess I'll accept her. Hey, Jessica, what's up? Oh, okay, bye. You can message somebody and say, hey, it's me, Sherry or Robbie, and I'm in recovery and I saw that you're in recovery too. And I'm looking to build a sober network and a support. And I was wondering if I could get your phone number so that way if I'm struggling, I can give you a call. No problem whatsoever, okay? I'm telling you guys, like, you need to be able to have people that you can reach out to. Sherry, I saw a comment that you left on, are you still here? I saw a comment that you left on my channel the other day about struggling and asking about MAT. And so if you want to talk about it, I'm here, you know, and I'm here to support you, okay? You're not alone. So you're not alone, and there's no shame in needing extra help or extra support, okay? But I did see your comment, and I wanted to talk to you about it, okay? So don't be embarrassed or anything. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I just know, I know how it is to struggle, and you're not alone, okay? So do you guys think that you guys can get yourself a sober support list of people that you can reach out to when you're struggling? Here, you already have your first person on your sober support list, okay, guys? So everybody get their pen and piece of paper and write down Nicole from Real Talk Recovery. Okay, who's this guy? I don't know who that is. Write down Nicole from RTR. Okay. And write down the 1-800 number in my bio. All right, I don't even know what it is by heart. Shoot, I wish I could tell it to y'all. Yeah, I think I can put it in the comments. Comments. 1-800 779 4715. 1-800 779 4715. So there's your first sober support friend, okay, that you can have, that you can call when you're struggling online. So easy, huh? Easy. That wasn't hard, was it, y'all? See, I told y'all. Ain't nothing but a thing. Ain't nothing but a thing. What am I looking for? And if any of you guys want to come up and share, Don't be embarrassed. Come on up here and share, honey. Come on up here and share. Oh, yeah.
If you conceal carry, you just found your new favorite holster.
The Second Amendment covers both arms and armor. While it's not always convenient to carry.
Okay, there we go. All right, so that's our sober. So that's your first person on your phone list, you guys. And let's go back through our relapse prevention. So y'all, everybody that was in here, I hope you guys wrote down your relapse prevention list, okay? So I'm going to go through it with you real fast, okay? And then we can just chit chat and stuff. So relapse prevention, first and foremost, we have our, not our to-do list, but our to-don't list. And what we did was we listed things that we don't need to do, okay? That we know will cause us to relapse, okay? You don't have to go to meetings like AA or NA. I mean, this is a meeting that you're in right now. You know, this is a meeting. You can go to Zoom meetings online. For those of you guys that don't know, the meeting that I recommend, and it's linked in my bio, is Mara. M-A-R-A. It is Mara, and it's all-inclusive recovery support meetings for people that are, you know, on MAT, not on MAT, abstinent, whatever. Hey, Princess, what's up, girl? So, Mara. No, I'm not in Arizona. Check it out. I promise you guys, you will not be disappointed. It is amazing. It's amazing. Super, super awesome. So, our to-don't list, and these are some things that I wrote down. Okay, there's a link in my bio. Go click the link and it'll take in there. You'll see the dot for Mara, but here is a link to it too. Or I'll just put what it is. Mara International. Yeah, Mara is Medication Assisted Recovery Anonymous. I was too, and I started going to only women meetings after a while. That was better for me. That's awesome. Good job. Good job, Vix. Good job. Okay, so you got your to-don't list, which are my to-don't list is hanging out with old using friends, overloading myself with too many responsibility, isolating myself, and not staying busy, having idle hands. Okay, then we wrote down our triggers. Okay, no, I didn't have a girlfriend in prison. Then we wrote down a list of our triggers. Every person has different triggers, but I'll share some of mine with you. My weight, stress, tired, and arguing with people. Okay, and then the next box that we had was a planner where we plan our day. And what a really, really important part of relapse prevention, you guys, is planning your day from the time you wake up till the time you go to bed. Okay? You plan your day. Okay? Then you make sure that you have had a physical and a mental health evaluation. Those things are going to help you stay sober. All right. Then we have our morning routine. For those of you guys that missed it, our morning routine is as follows. Open our eyes. Thank our higher power. Then we say this prayer. We say, take my will in my life, guide me in my recovery, and show me how to live clean and serene. Okay? Take my will in my life, guide me in my recovery, and show me how to live clean. All right? All right. Then we do our gratitude list and anything else that you want to do in the morning. Affirmations, your meditation, a yoga, anything you want to do. So, then we went through the stages of relapse, which the first stage of relapse is an emotional relapse. That is when you're like, stop doing your self-care, Stop going to your meetings. Stop calling your sponsor. Second one is mental relapse. That's when you're having a mental tug of war where one side of you is saying, let's go get high. And the other side is saying, no, we don't need to. And the other side is saying, yes, we do. Okay. And then the physical relapse. Those are the 3 stages of relapse. Then on the back of our relapse prevention sheet, we have balance, and we put how we balance our life, and we do it like this. In this order, it goes recovery, higher power, family, school, but the number one thing is your recovery comes first before anything, because if you don't have recovery, you don't have shit. Okay? So, next, we wrote down tips for relapse prevention. Hey, girl. Hey, Brooke. So we wrote down tips for relapse prevention, and this should all be on your sheet, you guys. This is a literal sheet of gold that will literally help you to stay sober. Okay? Our tips for relapse prevention go like this. Self-care, get plenty of sleep, have our sober support phone list, exercise, meditation, yoga, self-help groups and meetings, positive support, honesty, minimizing news or informational intake that's overwhelming, meditating and essential oils, and yeah. Oh, and also talking, snitching on our addiction. All right, snitching on your addiction. Okay, Kate says this all seems like a lot. Okay, Kate, I want you to think about all the things that you did when you were in your active addiction. Okay, I go to meetings in Mara, and the link is in my bio. I want you to think about all the things and how far you would go to obtain your drug of choice or your drink of choice, whatever substance it was, okay? I want you to think about all the stuff that you did to get there, all right? In the grand scheme of things, this is nothing. This is actually, it's actually just a lot of mental work, you know what I mean? So if you would have moved mountains to get your DOC, all I want you to do to stay sober is half that effort. Not even half, a quarter of that effort. And I will guarantee you that you will be successful in your sobriety. Okay? If you'll listen to what I'm saying and you'll follow what I'm telling you guys, where's Missy at? Where's Missy? Where's Micah? Micah, come up here and share. Missy, come up here and share. If you will just put in a quarter of the effort, you guys, that I'm asking you to put in, I will guarantee your sobriety. Okay? Protege is coming up. Okay? This is my miniature protege, and she's walking and talking proof of listening to what I say. Go ahead, girl.
Okay, so yes, I look like hell, but it's hair washing day, and I only wash my hair once a week. So, I have 7 months sober. My drug of choice was opiates, but basically fentanyl. I was just a dumbass, and I thought that I really was taking oxycodone, which is me being naive. So I was on TikTok 3 months prior to ever getting sober. I would be nodding out, sorry, trigger warning, is it, whatever, and seeing Nicole's posts, and I would just watch them every day. It became part of my routine to watch her videos. I'd wake up, do my business, and then I'd watch Nicole's videos. And small things like that will plant a seed in your head. And that's what it did. It planted a seed, and then it took me about 3 months. And I tried myself, of course. I'm a very prideful person. I don't like asking for help. But once I did, it just got easier from then. When you first get sober, you're going to think that you're never going to feel better. I really thought, I was like, man, this is the rest of the life. If this is the rest of my life, I don't want to be sober. That's what I thought at the beginning. But my mental health wasn't on track. My life wasn't on track. You have to get all of those things aligned for sobriety to work as well. So yeah, you definitely have to put in the full 100% and everything Nicole was saying.
And Micah hasn't done everything perfect, you guys, and there's some things that, like, you know, she might not have done, but for the most part, she, like, followed the outline, stuck and stayed, came to the meetings, called me when she was struggling, you know, and she put in the effort. And she's done really well, 7 months sober. So who else wants to come up and share? Is Diana in here? Or Missy Reed in here? Or Blunt's in here? If y'all want to share, it's okay, girl. These are all people that, like, started out with me and have been with me since, and they got sober with me. You know what I mean? I didn't get them sober, you know. They got sober with Real Talk Recovery, though. And they, you know, put in the work and have put in the work and literally changed their lives, you guys. Changed their lives. So, oh, I'm so proud of you, Recovery Princess. What's your real name? Mara. M-A-R-A. I'm fixing to show you guys, like, what a Mara meeting is like, okay? Recovery Mara. Hey, Missy. Good. I'm glad you're here. Missy, you can come on up. You got 9 months. I want you to share about it. Missy, you can come on up. You got 9 months. I want you to share about it. I mean, if you want to, you don't have to if you don't want to. So Missy started out with Real Talk Recovery. She found me here on TikTok, okay? And she was struggling. She hadn't gotten sober yet, and she needed support, and so she got plugged in. That's kind of what I'm trying to emphasize to you guys, is that each one of the people that have gotten sober have plugged in and gotten involved. It's okay. They've gotten involved. They, you know, didn't make excuses and say, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. They just did it, you know, and they have been succeeding. So I want to share with you guys a little bit about Mara, okay? So if you look up Mara International, which is M-A-R-A, you will come to it. It says, do you use prescribed medication to treat various drug and alcohol use disorders? You don't have to be on medication, but this is an open meeting to people that do. Many people who utilize evidence-based science to aid in their recovery sometimes feel uncomfortable in their day-to-day lives. Additionally, a multitude of people on this healing path have even felt unwelcome at traditional recovery meetings. We understand. At Mara, you're always welcome, okay? So, Mara, yes ma'am, Mara International. So, the preamble of Mara is Medication Assisted Recovery Anonymous is a support group of people who believe in the value of medication as a means to recovery. We understand that our individual needs may not be the same, our backgrounds may not be the same, our futures may not be the same. However, our desire to live a safe lifestyle joins us together. Non-judgment is our code. So you can be on medical marijuana, you can be on just regular medication, whatever it is. It's just an accepting, open-minded group where a lot of groups, you know, aren't like that. So that's why I like it so much, because it's like super open-minded and non-judgmental. You know what I mean? So I hope you guys, you know, I hope that is a resource that you guys can use and that will help you in your own recovery, okay? But like I said, each one of you guys has one person already on your sober support phone list, okay? And you guys can use me as a resource anytime. Anytime. I don't mind, you know, helping anybody. I enjoy it. So now what we'll do is I'll open up the floor. If you guys want to share, what do you guys want to talk about? Do you have any questions, comments, concerns? Talk to me. Let's see. What's up, Cece? Talk to me. What's your concern, honey? Just finding the medium so I'm not doing too much where I'm overwhelmed. Oh, yeah. So is it your work, Cece, that's overwhelming you? I think a lot of us go through that. You know what I mean? But not too little where you're bored. Yeah. It's finding the balance. I totally understand. Like today, sorry, I'm hot, you guys. Today I was working from home and I was thinking about like, damn, I need to leave the house and get out of the house a little so I won't be so, so I felt not bored because I had work to do. But like, I don't know, just cooped up, you know? So I totally understand. What have you come to the conclusion? What are you putting together that you're going to make your plan? Yeah? Yeah. Diana says her job had her stressed out in the beginning. You have to find balance. Absolutely. No, men and women are welcome here, Dale. What's up? Welcome to the meeting. Welcome. I'm working 6 days a week and I'm so exhausted, but still need to go to meetings and fixing the house. So 6 days a week. So this is what I would say, Cece. Can you talk to your boss and see if you can cut back to like 5 days a week or 4 days a week? That should be even more reason that you can talk to your aunt. Cece, if your aunt is being too hard on you, you need to talk to her because you cannot afford to relapse again, okay? For those of you guys that don't know, Cece is my redheaded stepchild. Just playing. She is a girl that I've been helping for about the last almost year. And she reached out to me, 8-9 months ago and needed help. And so I helped her get into treatment. And she's kind of been struggling since then. So, and I tried, but she's been doing really well now because she finally got on MAT. And so she's got like over 90 days sober. I got called into work today on my day off, coworker, and I got into it today. Phew, been rough. Oh man, recovery princess. That's hard. That's when you guys have to learn to set boundaries and say, today's my day off. I really need this day off and I'm not going to be able to come in, you know? The working part will get better for me. It was like I went from doing nothing each day to working every day. Yeah. It's you got to find the balance, man, right? Same. I totally understand. December of last year, that's when we met. Yes. 4.5 months now. Yes. So me and Cece are like connected. So I'm telling you, Cece, I really want you to stand up and say something to your aunt about how much work she's putting on you. Oh, no, Dawn. Hey, Dawn, just so you know, if you say a question with like Suboxone in it, it won't show the question. So you have to say like subs or something like that. TikTok will block it out otherwise. She got up to my face, girl. I about snapped all over silverware. Man, that's what happened to me at my first job when I got sober at Nukes. This girl got in my face and I ended up snapping and I jumped on top of her and we fell to the ground and I was trying to strangle her by her neck. My boss pulled me off of her and they fired me and I lost my first job when I got sober. And I called my sponsor immediately because I was outside in the parking lot crying because I had just gotten fired and I was doing so well. I had just gotten promoted, everything. And I was like, I just got fired for trying to beat a bitch's ass. And you know what my sponsor said to me? She said, it's a gift. And I was like, what? And she was like, you might not see it today, but it's a gift. And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, you'll see. So what happens if you're on Suboxone and you end up in the hospital and need opiates? So if you just end up in the hospital like randomly without, you know, without like an appointment or something like that, and you let them know that you are on Suboxone, the doctor can give you fentanyl, but it can only be administered by a doctor because it's super dangerous to override the buprenorphine. It can kill you. I'm getting up at 5 a.m., getting my daughter ready for school, leave work by 9 a.m., get home by 7. That's a long day, Cece. And April almost died. Now, if you have you heard of Little White or 3 6 Mafia? Hell yeah, I have. Now, if you have an appointment, then what they will do is they will either tell you to stop taking your Suboxone 3 days before the appointment so they can treat you with, treat you and give you proper pain relievers. Or they will use, you know, tell you to use your Suboxone. They gave me Fent, and yeah. Then work on the houses, and if I want to go anywhere, I need to bring my daughter. Hey, Jessica, that's okay. We figured you were new, girl. It's all good. I love 3 6 Mafia. Let's look up some Little White. I remember the day. That's why I always tell people that are on MAT to, you know, like put something in your wallet, so that way they'll know, you know, that if something happens, you get into an accident, because it's dangerous if you're trying to override your Suboxone because you could overdose yourself. But if the doctor's doing it, you'll be fine. Here. What other questions y'all have? I love answering questions. I've been on Suboxone for 6 years, and I work for a doctor that is a Suboxone provider. And so, just one. I have one son. What? Yeah, MAT saved my life too. Welcome, everybody. We just got done talking about relapse prevention, and now we are, you know, chit-chatting and I'm answering questions. And if you want to come up and share, you can come up and share. What is your suggestion on people judging you for being on MAP? Ooh, I love this question, honey. I have a video that is perfect for that. So, just so you guys know, the reason why I started speaking out on social media was because of an experience that I had on YouTube after I told my story. So I was, on Facebook after I told my story. So I had gotten sober in 2015, and I asked my sponsor when I hit 1 year if I could go and share my story. And she said, sure. And so we called up the treatment center that I graduated from, and I went and I told my story at that treatment center. Well, after I got done sharing my story, the whole room, everybody was crying. And we all got into a big circle and we all hugged. There was like 30 kids in the treatment center. And at that very moment, I knew that I wanted to help people and I wanted to share my story. And so I started a Facebook page, and I went online and I got into a bunch of recovery groups, and I started sharing my story. Honest, open, everything. And I shared about being on Suboxone and how it saved my life. And so many people on Facebook judged me, told me that I wasn't sober, told me that I didn't even deserve to be telling my story. And I was heartbroken. I was so defeated. And so I said, fuck this shit, and I deleted my Facebook, and I left Facebook, right? Well, after that, I said, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not going to let them defeat me. I am going to start a YouTube channel. And so that's when I started Real Talk Recovery. That was the beginning of Real Talk Recovery. I started Real Talk Recovery, and I've been doing it ever since, and sharing my story about how I got sober, how my son got taken away, everything, and how, I got on MAT. So Leah says, I needed to be here for the relapse part. I relapsed on ice 2 days ago, and I feel so guilty. Okay, so that's great. That is a great comment that you just said, and I'm going to tell you why. So you say that you are feeling guilty because you relapsed. So first of all, let me just tell you that you're totally wasting your feelings, because there's nothing to feel guilty about, girl. There is nothing to feel guilty about. It happens to the best of us. Okay? But first, let me answer about the question about people judging you for being on Suboxone. So first and foremost, you guys, the best thing you can do is to educate yourself about the disease of addiction, so that way when people start throwing these judgments at you, you can educate them to death. So what you need to know is that there's a difference between addiction and dependency. Okay? Being prescribed Suboxone and being dependent on it is not the same as being in active addiction. You're not prostituting for your Suboxone, are you? You're not sucking D's for your Suboxone, are you? You're not stealing for your Suboxone, are you? No, I didn't think so. So, addiction is characterized by the negative consequences and the negative behaviors, as well as the compulsion to use a substance or do a behavior even though it causes you those negative consequences, and it causes you to act in a negative way, right? That is what addiction is. Dependency is just the physical dependence to a medication. Your body becomes physically dependent on it, okay? So, many people are dependent on medication, all right? Heart medication, diabetes medication, mental health medication. What's the difference between us and somebody who is taking medication for their bipolar disorder? If they stop taking their medication for their bipolar disorder, what happens? They relapse into their what? Bipolar mania, or, bipolar low, okay? And they start having issues, right? It's the same thing. Some people just need to have medication for their mental health and for their addiction, which addiction is a brain disease, and it's a form of mental health. It's a mental illness, right? And so we are treating our whole mental health to make sure we're whole and healthy, okay? I just say, mind your business. Yeah, also, I haven't backtracked anymore. Just hit a line a couple days ago going around someone who I was. So you had an episode of use. Good job. I can relate. I have severe scoliosis, sciatica, and degenerative disc disease. Okay, so that is the difference between addiction and dependence. And that is what you need to understand when people are trying to say shit to you about being on medication assisted treatment. Okay. So Layla relapsed, you guys, and she picked up a line and now she is sober. So here's the thing. All you did is have a little slip, a little lapse, a little episode of use, okay? A relapse is when you go out and you are partying your ass off. You're out there fucking a week out there, kicking it and getting fucked up. So you had an episode of use. You had a bad judgment call, right? A bad judgment call. So what are we going to do? This is perfect example. What are we going to do, okay, Layla, now that you relapsed? What we're going to do is we are going to go back to the relapse and we are going to look at our relapse. We are going to break it down. So what I want you to do is I want you to reflect, okay, after a relapse. So right now, you guys get your pen and paper out and put at the top, say, after a relapse, okay? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to tell somebody, okay? Number one, tell somebody. Talk about it. All right? Okay, number two, we are going to reflect. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to be honest with us because I'm going to ask you some questions, Layla. I want to know what was going on 30 days before you picked up the ice. What has been going on in your life? Have you been having any stress, any relationship issues, any big changes that have gone on? Okay. Any big changes that have gone on? A new job, extra work, anything like that. I want you to reflect on that. Okay? Reflect on that. Now, once you identify if there was something that was going on, right? If you can figure it out, because here's the thing. Because I've been sober, because I've been working on this for a while, I can reflect and say, oh yeah, I was working like 60 hours a week. I was totally fucking off my meetings. I wasn't calling my sponsor. I wasn't going to, my counselor or my therapist. I wasn't doing anything, right? And that's where I started fucking up. All right. I want you to try and get to a point where you can look back and you can reflect and you can identify the spot where you started fucking up. Okay. So once you're able to identify that spot, right? Okay. She says, no, I'm bipolar like you were talking about and have been in a depressive episode. Okay. Great job, girl. Great job. So are you getting treatment for your bipolar disorder? Bipolar disorder. If not, you need to go and get treatment, okay? If you are not on a good medication regimen. Hey, Angelica. Congratulations, girl. Angelica just got honest, you guys, and I'm so proud of you, girl. Angelica, it's okay. We are proud of you. What if you just like getting high and there is no other deep reason? Hunt dog, I used to love getting high too. That's exactly how I started getting high. I was a kid. I was young, impressionable. I tried it for the first time and I loved it. So I understand. So if you're not getting treatment for your bipolar, Layla, I want you to get treatment, okay? Because that is going to be something that will be reoccurring and you're going to have issues with if you don't get treatment for it. Now, but Seroquel, they had me on, made me paranoid, and they kept switching it a lot to different meds. Okay, Layla, so this is what we need to do. This is your number one priority. Are you listening to me? Your number one priority is to get a doctor's appointment for next week and get your medication situated, okay? Because without the correct mental health treatment, you will continue to go back. All right. Of course you would. Okay. Because you're going to need relief because you're not feeling good, because you're not sleeping, you're manic, you're depressed, whatever this situation may be. So I want you to put that on the tippy top of your list. Nothing else matters. Okay. Nothing matters. Get that mental health in check. So once we get your mental health in check and you get on the proper medication, okay, then what you can start doing is you can do all the things that we learned today in our relapse prevention little class, okay? And so if this is like, we learned all this stuff. If you guys want me to, I can type this up and I can send you an email of our relapse prevention, what we do to prevent our relapse, okay? So what you're going to do after you get yourself balanced out and you get on your meds, then you're going to go through here and you're going to make yourself, you're going to do the things that I taught you guys to do, okay? You're going to make your list of things you don't need to do, okay? You're going to write down your triggers so that way you can identify them and you know them. You're going to start planning your day. You're going to go out and get a calendar, and you're going to go out and get a planner, and you're going to plan your day by hour, okay? You're going to make sure that you do your morning routine every morning when you wake up. You're going to wake up, you're going to say your prayers, you're going to thank your higher power, say your prayers, and make your gratitude list, okay? Do your affirmations, and then you are going to make sure that you have balance, okay? And then I'm going to send all of these to you. So if y'all want to, you can start commenting your emails so I can email these to you guys, okay? Nothing was happening for me. I was just tired and bored. Now I feel so terrible. I was 2 months sober. So that is something that was happening. Okay. So you were tired and bored. Okay. Being bored is a trigger for a lot of people, you guys. Being bored is the idle hands. Okay. The idle hands are the devil's playground. Okay. So if you're just, nothing's happening, right? It seems so like, well, nothing was happening. That's not a big deal, right? Actually, it is a huge big deal, because when we're addicts, when we were in our active addiction, we lived a life of chaotic, drama-filled, always doing something, always going, right? What was number 3? The after a relapse. Oh, after a relapse, tell somebody, okay? Reflect on the 30 days before you relapse. I want you to think back through that month of what was going on in your life, okay? So you can identify what it is that you were struggling, where you dropped the ball, what you kind of stopped doing, right? Once you are able to identify, oh, I'm not treating my bipolar disorder, or oh, I stopped going to my meetings, right? Once you're able to identify what you started slipping up on, or oh, I'm working too many hours and I'm really, really stressed, then you can make the proper changes, okay? Make changes that will be conducive. Make changes conducive to your recovery, okay? All right. Then after you make the changes that are conducive to your recovery,